Hi guys, welcome back to All the Things Real. I'm your host, I'm Mel, and I'm always gonna keep it real. We dive deep into the real lives and stories of those making a big difference in the East Valley and beyond. I'm a proud Mesa, Arizona native, and from residential real estate to commercial real estate to developments to entrepreneurship, mental health, design, I'm going to be here to help design our lives, and no topic is going to be too real. Welcome to All the Things Real.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. We are in your basement that we haven't taken any after pictures or videos in, so I thought it was a good idea to film down here. How are you liking the basement?
We love it.
Do you come down here?
No, never. We have 2 teenage boys down here.
That's why you love it, because then everyone else stays down here?
Yeah, they love it down here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just the boys are down here? No more girls?
No, just the boys.
It looks in pretty good shape. I don't smell anything weird. Some blood on the floor.
There's might be some blood on the couch here, but
I mean, it looks great for the boys. Do they still stay here most of the time? Do their friends end up trying to move in down here? It's like a full apartment.
yes, every Friday, Saturday night we have 5 or 6 kids. It seems like.
Yeah, I love that. Do you love that still?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love that they come here.
Yeah. Do you feel like I've helped with that experience by building these situations I created for you to host all the things?
They love it. So yes, for sure. 100%.
Okay. We're also going to be working on your space, right? To so that you can go escape.
I hear this. I don't know.
2 months.
Are we? Really?
2 months, right?
Okay. That would be great.
So ChatGPT says there's many angles. You thought your story was going to be temporary in Arizona. So start from the beginning, where you started, the two of you. Montana.
Yeah, Montana, small town Montana. So Baker, Montana, in the very southeast corner of Montana, 8 miles from the North Dakota border. 1,800 people in our hometown. So very, very small.
Was this back then 1,800 or still right now?
It's probably even under 1,800 now, but back then, yeah, 1,800-ish roughly.
Yeah.
So Kristen and I lived a mile away, not even a mile away. She was
from each other.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. She was a year younger than me.
What age did you guys meet?
I mean, when I was 6 or 7.
We always knew each other.
6, 7.
Shut up. Kindergarten?
6, 7.
6, 7.
So bad.
For
So
mom.
bad. Yeah.
But
I mean,
we started dating.
We started dating in high school. Yeah. Started dating when I was a senior, she was a junior.
Did your families know each other? Your parents?
For sure. Yeah. You know everybody.
Everybody
Like
knows.
you literally know everybody.
You have no other choice.
Yes.
Okay.
Her other choice was her cousin.
He loves to tell this story. It's absolutely false. But I did have 38 kids in my class.
Yeah.
So
In your full class?
yeah.
I love that
So
for
I had
you.
a good 10 boys to choose from.
I feel like this is why me knowing you guys personally, why you are one of the most wholesome, grounded people, no matter what your story is, it is shocking, I think. I don't know if other people tell you this, but that you're just so normal, like humble, almost naive.
We're not known.
Like almost naively
that would-
because of this, I don't know, small town feel, but you're carrying it through still. Like that's how, at least I feel, there's no wavering of your character or anything.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're definitely not normal. So
Well,
it's fine.
normal compared to America. Just kidding.
The bar is low.
No,
Sorry.
no,
Keep that out.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay, we'll save that for your podcast.
Sure.
Yep. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. So started dating in high school. I was a year older. I went and I wrestled a couple years in college.
Okay.
And then eventually
In town, is there a college?
No.
Oh.
No.
Where'd you go?
I went to Dillon, Montana first,
Okay.
which was about a 8-hour drive from Baker.
Okay.
where we grew up is on the complete opposite side of the state. Yeah, it would take about 8 hours to drive there.
Okay.
Wrestled there a year, and then I transferred to Aberdeen, South Dakota. Kristen, graduated high school, and then she went to Billings, Montana. And so for 2 years we were long distance and just doing everything we can.
You started
to
dating when you were already like 8 hours away.
No, started dating in high school. My senior year, her junior year. She asked me to homecoming.
I love this.
So
you're welcome.
Yes, thank you for that. That was great.
We're not telling the backstory.
You can tell the backstory. I'll let you tell the backstory.
Write that down.
Yeah, so we did that for 2 years, and then after I was done wrestling, I transferred to Billings and thought that I wanted to be a coach and a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to try to be a math teacher, so I was going to college for education.
Okay.
And just struggled for a couple of years. Didn't go to class, and just
What was the struggle?
Going
just
to class.
Age?
Just going to class.
Yeah, you didn't like school.
No.
Okay.
Couldn't stand school.
Yeah.
Hated it.
I hate it too.
But knew that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. So asked her to marry me. For some reason, she said yes, because there were no prospects on the horizon of what we were going to do or how we were going to make a living or anything.
But that's what I'm saying, the naiveness maybe of a small town, right?
Yeah.
And why you have you don't have the fear.
You said when we left dinner with Ethan after our son-in-law asked to marry Brooklyn, we were driving home and John said, "I cannot believe that you said yes to me. I looked terrible on paper." Remember that? And you were like, what in the world? Like, what were we thinking? We were so young.
Yeah.
And we had no idea
Mm-hmm.
what we were going to do.
Yeah.
So we get engaged. And
how did you propose? Because it is Valentine's. We're trying to pull out the
Yeah. She was doing, there's a great couple from our hometown. Kristen used to babysit for them. And they had moved to Colorado and they loved her. So whenever they would do anything, they would fly her out to Colorado and she would watch their kids for 7 to 8 days when they would go on vacation. Nice. Because she was just so great with their kids.
Yeah.
And so when she was in Colorado and I wanted to propose when she flew in. Okay. So I went and bought the ring, got my sister to co-sign the loan, which she didn't have a job. I don't know how.
I didn't even think about that. You can get a loan
for wedding ring. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was $2,500. I think.
I love that.
Something like that.
Do you still have it?
Mm-hmm. She does still have it. Yep. Yep. This is still mine. We spent $99 on this one. It's really nice.
It's from the mall.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
So I flew in.
I like it.
Yeah, so this is before, this was before TSA and all that stuff, but it didn't matter. So she flies in, I had one of her girlfriends meet her at the gate and walk her down, and I had her get right in front of the baggage claim. And then I paid the baggage claim, or I didn't pay them, but I had them bribed them, had them put behind roses. Mm-hmm. And every came out, this is for Kristen.
Instead of the bags.
Instead of the bags, yep. And
this is a movie right now.
And then every rose came out, had a letter on it, and it spelled out, "Will you marry me?" So I don't know how many roses that is. And then I snuck in behind her after she picked up the last one, and then I was down on my knee. And
did you know what was going on? No. Did you know it was for you?
I started hearing people shrieking because I wasn't right up. And they're like, "Oh, what is going on?" And I'm like, "What is that?" And then I noticed that somebody had taped up
we had to tape up
flaps.
There's flaps. So,
right.
We tested it. The guys were really great.
They really
the baggage claim.
So this is in Montana.
This is in Montana, in Billings,
Montana. Do you think
Montana.
they'd still do it though in Montana?
I don't know, maybe.
They might.
But we put all the roses back behind there, And then we turned it on, and the flaps just kept hitting all the roses. And they're like, well, that's not going to work. And one guy's like, well, I got some tape. Let's just tape it up. And so then they taped it up, and out came the roses. And
So no, I didn't know, but I was like, what? And I didn't put it together because I thought John was working. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then he came out and he was on one knee with the ring, and
That is so
everybody was like-
romantical.
nobody
Yeah.
had cameras or
Yeah, no one
phones
took
back
any
then.
pictures.
They
No
were just-
way.
yeah.
I know, like I've never heard this story at all. That is
you took
so
some
sweet.
pictures. You took some
My-
pictures of it
my
when we got
friend.
home.
Oh yeah,
when we got
because
to her.
had Domino's pizza
We got Domino's to celebrate.
and Boone's
Yes.
strawberry
Boone.
wine. Yep.
College Boone in a
Yeah.
paper bag.
Can't remember that. You have to pull the pictures up.
Oh, wait, that is
Yeah.
sweet. I love
Yeah.
that so much. That kind of also, when Kristen started talking about your like history in your business, how you are so creative, but you're also like operational. And I always thought in my head, I'm like, I don't picture John being the creative one. That's so creative. Like those are the
Yeah,
things
maybe, I
that like I
guess.
might want to pull out of you, because I'm still like, as a business owner, which we'll get to all the things, but I'm just like, that's why I think when we were in Park City and I'm just like, tell me the secrets. Like, how do you run a business? How do you become you? And again, your story is just like so humbling and normal. It just, I still don't get it. I feel like there's this magic dust that you both have, but I don't know. I don't know if you guys understand it. I just want to get down to the core of that.
Well, I mean, it's
can-
so this is 1999, and we fast forward to 27 years later. I mean, and yeah, it's like you don't. In 1999, I didn't think that we were gonna sell mattresses or manufacture mattresses. Like that was never the plan.
Right.
And
Temporary.
So, yeah, my brother originally moved down here in the early 90s, and he's the one that started the mattress business. So he started as a liquidator, and in 99, after we got engaged, he called up and said, congratulations, what's your plan? I said, well,
How much older is he?
he's 8.5 years older.
Oh, okay.
9 years older.
Okay.
Yeah. So he calls up and he's like, what are you doing? Congratulations, great, we love
But
Kristen.
get your shit together.
And no, and he's just like, what are you gonna do? And I said, well, I'm gonna try to finish school and become a teacher and a coach. And Kristen had gone to beauty school and was a beautician and cutting hair, and I said, that's the plan. And he just said, I just started this mattress thing, and he kind of explained it to me, and he said, why don't you and Kristen move down after you get married, and we can open up another store. And he had one retail store, and we can open up another one. I said, hang up and talk to her, and it was like, yeah, let's try it. And what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
We don't like it.
Right.
We'll move back, and I can go to Baker, you can cut hair,
Right.
I can finish school, and
Yeah.
we can go down that path.
Okay.
So Kristen had never even been to Arizona, and we get married, and we fly down to Arizona right after our wedding. My grandma had been widowed and had a place just a mile from here.
Okay.
Kind of
So
why we
that's
stayed
why
in
your
Mesa.
brother even came out here.
Yep, he
Grandma.
came down because my grandparents were down here.
Yeah.
And so we come down, and my grandma was like, you kids are moving down here. You guys need to stay in my guest house. She had a little guest house in her backyard, and she said, I want you guys to stay until you figure out what you're doing. And so I thought, well, this would be a good time to bring Kristen down. So
Yeah.
bring her down. We check out the apartment, and she, again, I mean, I already married her, so she didn't have much of a choice at that point. But
Yeah.
so we looked at it, and she agreed. We went and drove to Disneyland for our honeymoon.
Aww.
And this is a great story starting off our wedding. Like, there's no phones, no GPS, no
Yeah.
nothing. And I don't know why. I just my brother said, go down to the
We
60.
couldn't afford phones. There was phones. We didn't have money for a phone.
There were
Okay.
pagers.
Go ahead.
But he's like, just go down to the freeway and
You'll find it.
you'll find it, and you'll get on the 60, and that'll turn into the I-10, and you'll get to California. Well, I went and I took a left. I went I went west instead of
Okay.
east, or I went east instead of west.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is weird. Why we haven't seen any signs for LA or California or anything. And I mean, I drove for like an hour and a half, and finally, Chris is like, well, just pull over and get a map and ask someone. I'm like,
Classic.
yeah.
Hate to do that.
I mean, it was just, so we drive an hour and a half out of the way to get to Disneyland for our honeymoon,
Yeah.
and eventually pull into a gas station. Like, yeah, you got to go the other way. I'm like, oh shit.
That was the beginning of
You're
our.
like, don't tell me.
Oh, it was terrible. It was just so, but
The beginning of what? The arguing?
no,
of being lost. Of
Oh.
figuring.
but
out
we
what we're
made
doing.
it to Disneyland. We
Okay.
come back, because I borrowed one of my brother's trucks. We drove it to Disneyland. We come back, look at the apartment, and then fly back up to Montana. We pack up our stuff and put it in a U-Haul, and I drove the U-Haul, and Kristen drove the car behind us, and we drove 24 hours down and got unpacked. And the next week I was in a retail store selling mattresses. And so, and Kristen would come to work with me, and eventually she became a phenomenal sales person. And a lot of times she would sell the beds, and I would load them on a truck and go do the deliveries. And so we worked at 27th Avenue in Glendale, and we were selling mattresses.
So far.
It's a very long
Mesa,
way.
especially back then.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Here's another good story. So we're a year and a half into. You weren't pregnant yet, were you? No.
I don't know what story are you telling.
When you didn't know how to get home.
Oh yeah, well into a year and a half.
We're a year and a half into it, right? And I drove to work every day, and it was just us. Like that part was, we left our friends.
Right.
We were trying to make money, so we moved down here, and I mean, we worked 6 days a week.
Yeah.
It was retail, and so we're working from 10 to 7 o'clock at night. We had an hour drive, so I mean, we're getting up at 8:30, leave at 9 to get to the store at 10, get it opened up. Stores open till 7. Sometimes we would do a delivery on the way home, and I mean, it was
nonstop.
Yeah, it was nonstop. And so,
and I remember our friends were partying.
That's what I was going to say, though. Like at that age, again,
Ugh.
how were you guys so tunnel vision and focused? Is it because you just didn't know better? Is this your parents engraving in you?
No, I think it was just didn't know better. We got married, and yeah.
But don't you feel like, just thinking of you having the kids that age now, right? Like, would they be like, well, let's go out to the river?
So I'll back up a little bit. So after in college, after I wrestled, after I quit, and then was going to college, I went through a phase where I would drink and
just
partied
and
so at 21 I quit drinking.
Okay.
And so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but like, I didn't go out and drink. Probably. And Kristen's not a big drinker.
For that age, especially.
And so we just had our heads down and
yeah,
trying to save money. And we had like, hey, eventually maybe one day we'll be able to buy a house. And
yeah.
And then we both knew we wanted to have children. But I wanted to have some sort of financial stability before we started. I didn't want to have kids and live in my grandma's guest house.
Okay, so that was kind of the drive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was let's have a family. And
yeah. What does that mean?
We're already at 20 minutes.
I have 20. I told you I'm not going to be good with time. Like,
we haven't even.
Yeah.
We haven't even.
You're going to have a lot of editing. You'll be fine.
You're gonna have to.
Okay, you're getting there.
Okay, so
she's selling. You're driving.
Yeah, the story. I mean, the one good story is we get. We've been driving this same path for a year and a half, and I get to the store and I get out and I'm like, shit, I forgot my keys. I don't have the keys. And I'm like, Kristen, you need to drive back to the apartment and grab them. And if any customers come, I'll let the customers know what happened, because
Okay.
every sale was so important.
Right.
I'm like, I don't want people to come and think that we just didn't open the store.
Oh.
And Kristen looks at me and she's like,
You didn't think to put a note on the door?
I mean, could have, but
Might miss a sale.
yeah. Kristen looks at me and she's like, I don't know how to get back home. What do you mean you don't know how to get back home? We've been driving this same route for a year and a half.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention. I'm like, it's fine. You know,
Never
here's how to
even
do
looked
it. Again, we had a cell phone at the time. It wasn't a smartphone. It was just
Yeah.
a
It's not like
flip
it's on
flip
Instagram.
phone. Yeah. So she ends up getting lost
Okay.
and calls me, and I think we only had one cell phone actually.
We did have one phone.
So she's calling me from a payphone. She's like, I'm in the ghetto. I'm gonna get murdered, and I mean, it was just chaotic. But
Oh my
she
God.
eventually made it, and and then I don't remember. We moved down in '99, sometime in 2000. She got pregnant, and we saved up enough money to buy our first house, and
Yeah.
we moved into our first house and had Kaylee in 2001.
And stayed in Mesa.
Stayed in Mesa. We bought out in East Mesa.
Yeah.
And stayed in Mesa. Yeah.
So then you became sales and operations.
Yeah. So we, like I said, we were liquidators. If we're gonna dive into the Brooklyn Bedding story, but and it wasn't even Brooklyn Bedding at the time. It was R&S
Brooklyn
Mattress.
wasn't even existing yet.
No, Brooklyn wasn't born yet.
Your daughter.
Yep. It was R&S Mattress Liquidators, and
Okay.
and so we would buy closeouts, overstock, discontinued. We would buy them from Montgomery Ward's. A lot of people don't know what Montgomery Ward's is.
Yeah,
Montgomery Ward's went
do.
bankrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went straight to Serta, Sealy, Simmons, all the major manufacturers,
Okay.
and said, we just walked in and said, hey, we want to buy your closeouts, your overstocks, your comfort exchanges, your warranty returns. We'll buy anything.
Okay.
And we wanted to buy things at a discount, and so.
Was anyone else doing that at the time?
Not in Arizona.
Okay.
There wasn't. There were in some other cities, but and it's funny now. So fast forward to today, and the size that we are, and how our business has evolved.
Mm-hmm.
If I could find myself from 20 some years ago, I could put that guy in business. Mm-hmm. So I go out on my factory floor now. I walk the floor every day I'm there, and I see stuff that that we're just not using. It's obsolete material. It's it's a little out of spec. It's a little off, and so that stuff gets put in a corner, and then eventually, if we can't find someone to buy it, it ends up getting scrapped and basically thrown away. So
that's my in. I'm gonna go show up and ask if I could buy the scrap.
Now, but the only reason that we were successful, and the only reason it worked, is because we had the retail stores.
Okay.
Like today, I say it's so easy. Like for me, the easy part is making it. Mm-hmm. Like for whatever reason, through the path that we took, whatever reason, I grasped onto the manufacturing side of things. I love the equipment. I love the process. I was been very, very fortunate to, because we were a liquidator, I started getting calls from all these manufacturers because they wanted to get rid of their excess material.
Okay.
So, this is in the early 2000s, 2003 to probably 2007.
Okay.
I would get calls from a Sealy factory in Denver, and then not only were the major manufacturers calling me, but then the raw materials vendors started calling. Hey, we became known. Hey, there's these guys in Phoenix.
Oh.
They'll buy anything. If you call them, any component, anything that's used to build a mattress, they'll buy it.
So you were recycling.
I mean, yeah, you could kind of
why
say
would you
recycling.
Want any of the components? Just because you could use those to build?
Yeah, it's just like building a couch. There's fabric, there's a frame, there's foam, and so when you get to the end of a product life cycle, there's everyone gets stuck with a little bit of material.
Mm-hmm.
And, what are they going to do with that material? Well, they look for someone to buy that. And so
Mm-hmm.
the stuff that we would buy, I would buy it and I'd bring it in, but I'd only be able to make maybe 10 beds out of it. And no one really wants to mess with that because, everyone, all these other big factories and, large manufacturers, you want to do everything at scale.
Right.
And that's where we're at today.
Right.
But back then we weren't. And so it was
Okay.
like, hey, I'll buy, you give me a good deal.
Yeah.
I don't care if I only make 10 of them.
Right.
I have retail stores. I'm going to make that product,
Right.
send it out to my retail stores, and my retailers are going to sell it. My guys are going to sell it.
Okay.
And then after that, they'll sell whatever I make.
Right.
And so it was.
And was it a business too that you're making by hand? Like if you're doing
Yeah.
10 beds,
Yeah, everything's
you
by
just
hand.
learned the construction,
Yeah,
all of it.
yeah.
Wow.
And it's still that way.
Really?
Mattresses are very, when people tour the factory and I always ask the question when they get done touring it, it's like, hey, what surprised you
Yeah.
about the process? And
Right.
it's like, I didn't realize how hands-on it is.
Mm.
And so, I mean, there's, obviously, tons of sewing and you have to cut the foam, and now,
Right.
now we pour foam, and
Yeah.
so it's still very, very hands-on.
Okay. That's so amazing. You just dove in and found what you were good at.
Yeah. And that's it. And it's funny too, because the whole time I'm doing it, I would go to, business classes and, all these different things, how to be successful and how to do this. And everything I heard was, what are you passionate about?
Yeah.
Find your passion, go
Right.
find your passion, and
Yeah.
then do that. And the whole time I'm like, I don't know what that is. And looking back on it, what I come to realize was that I was actually living it. Like, I'm against, what's your passion, and go find it. I'm more of, what are you good at? Like, what are you really good at? Find out what you're really good at.
Mm-hmm.
And once you find out what you're really good at, then, generally when you're good at something, you're going to start to have success.
Yeah.
And that success will then turn into a passion.
Okay.
And so, that's how
Yeah.
I view it.
Okay.
I don't know how other people view it,
Yeah.
but, for whatever reason, I became good at building mattresses, and a lot of it we would negotiate. Every single deal we would have to negotiate.
Yeah.
And it just became something that
So you were good
obviously
at
we're good at.
that, but what were the parts that you weren't good at? Like as a business owner, I feel like you do have to put you're in the weeds of a lot, but like how did you keep, again, that determination? Because there's going to be things that like,
So I would say I'm not good at managing people.
Okay.
And I
And
would
did you
say
learn that quickly, and
No.
how? By
No.
failing?
As we scaled, it became clear that it got to a certain point where, I would come home and I mean, I was stressed out,
Yeah.
and thank God I had an amazing wife who,
Yeah.
once she became pregnant and, Kaylee was born, we both decided that, hey, she's going to take care of the kids and create a wonderful home and
Mm-hmm.
and hold all that together, and she did that.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I was the one that was working every day.
Yeah.
And then we just kept having more kids, and so
Weird.
it kept getting harder and harder for her.
Yeah.
And as we were growing, and so I go back to, I don't feel like I'm the best at managing people.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 or 3 people that report to me now. 3 people right now that report to me.
Okay.
We have 1,400 employees.
So is that like when you think back, like there's like milestone moments that kept making the business grow or evolve? Was that one of the breaking points, or that you were like, okay, I need to hire on, or
Yes,
where
100%.
and where do you take that leap?
Yep.
Is it a
And
leap? Okay.
it
Leap.
is a leap because, as an as an entrepreneur and anyone starting a new business, it's hard to scale and hard to know when you need to hire on. And so I finally got to a point where I felt like this is it. Like, I don't think I can't take this thing any bigger. I can't get it to go any
Need
bigger.
help.
And I need help. And, so that's when I went out and looked for that and found a gentleman and hired him. And honestly, I mean, he's phenomenal. He's the president of the company now, and
Still
after
with you.
and he's still with me. Yep. And
Wow.
after I hired him, and he came in and kind of saw the vision, saw what was built, and it's like, hey, this is how we're going to continue to grow this thing, and we've done that. So
yeah.
it's
Did
been
he
great.
have all the experience in that?
He did.
Okay.
He had a very heavy marketing background. And then I like to say he was like the first executive type person that I hired.
Yeah.
Like any entrepreneur, when you start a business, you hire people, and
Right.
and as the business grows, the people grow with it.
Right.
And you're going to very some guys have people that can scale and grow with the business. But a lot of times, and a lot of times guys get to a certain point, and that's as far
as they can go.
That's as far as they can go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you hire on and bring in more talent.
So if you had to look back, what's your top leaps to get you where you are now? Like those risks, if you had to talk to anyone that's in a passion, or if they found what they're good at, but even maybe still, if they're like, I know I have to leap, but where they're maybe not seeing it come in, the income and the risk are still, there's a lot of fear in business owning, right?
Yeah. I mean, you have to have the revenue, right? I mean, you got to make payroll, and you got to be able to pay people.
Yeah.
And so, I like to try to tell people, you need to hire the best talent you possibly can, and find that talent and pay them when you can pay them.
Right? Okay.
Like when the business justifies paying them.
Okay.
And so that, that's what I feel like we did. And then all the other risks, like if we were to get into it and where we're at today, everyone looks at it and they're like, man, that was really, really risky. But for me, they always felt like very calculated risks. Like every time I bought a piece of equipment, I had a plan of what I was going to do with that equipment, and how it was going to make me more efficient, and how it was going to drive drive dollars to the bottom line. And ultimately, we have to be profitable.
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge, toy guy. We would have extra money, and I would buy a piece of equipment.
Okay.
I wouldn't go buy a car. I wouldn't go, we bought cars at the auction, and, pieces of crap for the first 15 years of our marriage.
Yeah.
And because, we would try to buy pieces of equipment to continue to build the business.
Right. Do you feel like any of that is because of just how you were raised? Like, was that your parents kind of like engraved in you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we were,
because that's still not normal for such a young, male. And like, you didn't even have all your connections of your brain until you're 25 as a male. How did you connect all those dots? I don't know if that's true. They're still connecting.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. I don't know, like there's something again within you that your parents, or that just the naiveness or what, but that's a lot of risk and a lot of staying focused and determined without you even, it sounds like you didn't even know better.
Yeah. And I mean, we're still, we're still a very small company in the grand scheme of things. So looking forward, that's, it's the industry, the industry that we're in is it's a very large industry. And as a percentage, we're probably still under 3% market share. And so we have a long way to go.
Wow.
and that's exciting.
That
That's
is
what-
exciting. So that's what I was going to ask you too. I know, I suck at wrapping things up. I was going to ask you though, what's next? What's the long way to go?
Yeah. Well,
how does that look for you?
Right now, the most exciting thing that we have is we're going to be grandparents in 3 weeks.
That is wild.
And so that to there is nothing, like I can't even, I don't even know what that moment's going to be like, but
Look at you tearing up right now. This is
I'm
so
really
good.
excited for that moment. Yeah.
I feel like that's almost like you just said that she got to take a lot of the emotional work for helping with keeping the house together for you, the family, and now you being a grandparent. I'm sure obviously you're a great dad and you got to position yourself like as a great dad and being involved, but now being a grandparent, I don't know, I feel like it's almost like you get to enjoy it even more. It's like another extension of you.
Yeah.
Because
we're gonna enjoy it for sure.
I know, I've seen the jelly cats.
But
but the opportunity,
as great of a mom as she has been and a wife,
yeah,
like I can't even wait to see what kind of grandma she is, and that's very, very exciting.
Yeah, I think that is amazing that you could take this path and where it brought you now, that is one of the biggest benefits of what you've built, that now your marriage gets to come together again and witness each other in another sense. Because I mean, marriage is whatever, it's so hard, all the things, but like you get to experience this whole, like, it's like having a baby again, but not, but like it is, but
Yeah.
that is amazing.
I think it might be better. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because we just get to love her, and she has 2 amazing parents. And so we don't have to do any worrying and all the figuring out. And
Really?
Sure, you're going to worry.
You don't think you have to do any worry?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to try not to. We just get to love her without any fears and anxiety and all the things when you're a young parent.
Right.
Trying to figure all that out.
Yeah. And your heart, like this Brooklyn Betty, walking around this whole time, and now you're like, I get to see her do the best thing, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a huge accomplishment, and it's got to feel so. I just couldn't imagine. I'm gonna die when my kids are older.
We can't imagine either.
Yeah.
We talk about her every day.
Oh,
It's like 3 weeks to go.
I love it so much. Is there a name?
There's a couple names.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but no.
Nothing.
No Brooklyn
nothing.
Junior betting.
No. We have some beds. All of our models are named different things. So I was like, how about Aurora?
Yes.
There's an Aurora mattress.
Of course.
Like, what about Lisa? Lisa, that's one of the brands we own.
Shut up.
Yeah. How about Lisa? No.
That is
I don't think that's gonna
I
happen.
don't know if Lisa will ever come back. Sorry to all the Lisas. I love that. Okay, is there anything else that we didn't cover? I know we didn't cover a lot.
There's a lot. Yeah,
I know.
there's a lot to the story.
Yeah, but if for anyone listening that's like, wanted to know your full story, obviously we're probably gonna have to have a part 10. What's one thing that you want everyone to take away and your story with Brooklyn Bedding and your career and where you are now?
Yeah, I mean, that anything's possible, I guess. I mean, we grew up in small town Montana, 1,800 people, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, anything's possible.
Okay. I love it. And one last thing, just because I'm a native and East Valley girl, and you guys are pretty much now raising all this, your legacy are going to be natives of Arizona and Mesa. If someone was not from here, where would you tell them is your favorite place to, I don't know, golf, eat? What's a hidden gem? What's your favorite thing about the East Valley? What comes to mind?
I mean, I'm a huge golfer, so I love golf.
So I threw that out there.
Yeah. I mean, I love golfing at Mesa Country Club. It's a great track.
Which is a hidden gem, and it's starting to get shined up again. And
It is. How do you know that?
Because I'm from here.
Okay,
I know all the things.
Yeah.
Because too, like, do you know? I mean, you do know outrageous membership costs everywhere else for the country clubs. Where now I feel like everyone's catching on. Every man that lives in Arizona is like, I'm gonna go get a membership at Mesa Country Club because I know that that's in the next 5 years gonna take off, and there's gonna be a waiting list again.
We love Mesa. So
why do you love Mesa? What's the top?
It just doesn't it in my opinion, it was, great schools. It was a great place to raise our kids and our family.
Yeah.
And now that we have children that are having children and living here, 3 miles away, I don't see us leaving for a while.
Or permanently.
Yeah.
I love it. It's kind of that small town feel, even though Mesa is huge, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very big.
I love it. Okay. Any last favorite places to eat, drink?
No, we're pretty homebodies.
You are.
We don't go out.
You are. It is amazing. You literally, I think that's why it's so important that I came into your life, because building these homes for you to give you these experiences and never want to leave.
Also, we usually have a house full of teenagers, and so
you're scared.
leave.
I feel like you're not going to be able to use that excuse for so much longer.
3 years.
Yeah.
We got 3 years left of high school, and then,
And now you're going to be stuck at home, not stuck, but babysitting a grandbaby.
That would be amazing. That'd be the best stuck ever.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, John,
Thank you for
answering all of my
great.
crazy questions. This is awesome. Do I give it like a... Thanks for tuning in today, you guys, with All the Things Real. If today's episode connected with you, will you please subscribe, like, share, leave a nice little review. And until next time, I'm Melissa, and I'm signing off from the heart of East Valley. Let's keep all the things real. This podcast was produced by Connor Greenwall, and the music Skyline Funk was by Alexander M. Thomas. I hope to see you guys next week, and I hope you also enjoyed this episode. Bye, guys.